Hi and welcome back to my solo playthrough of Age of Galaxy, playing the basic solo variant that ships with the game. And keep in mind, there are more scenarios to download. So yeah, I think this game can definitely keep you occupied for quite a while, even when you're playing solo. In a multiplayer game, the replayability of this with all the randomization that's kicking in respect to the cards and so on, it's nigh endless. But yeah, there we are. I'm not doing particularly well, but it is what it is. Let's get into the production phase. So we are starting our game with 3 production cube. We are gaining some income, that's 3, and then we are losing 1. We are still not activating any abilities here, so we are jumping directly into the action phase. I'm currently controlling 2 planets here, but I only have 1 cruiser, which means this round I have to get at least 1 more to keep me protected before we are moving into the war phase. The problem is there are cards in the deck that will make the AI take these cruisers away from me, so ideally I get 2. So I think it may be in my best interest to play the Cohen as another one of my main factions here. Keep in mind, I can do that basically anytime during my turn playing this card. But now I'm maxed for, in respect to my main factions here, I can still play them for their one-time ability, or if I need to settle somewhere, or colonize somewhere, which I'm not adapted to. And right now I do have a major ideology, which is, I believe, the diplomacy, which ultimately gives me more victory points for each of these prestige points I have at the end of the game. I believe divided by 4, rounded down, of course. So right now I'm not scoring any additional bonus, but at least I now have a goal. But of course, the Cohen comes with gifts. First of all, I will get 2 more cruisers. I think that is already quite important. We are also gaining 2 more money. I take it as well. And now we have their debut ability, which says all rivals lose 1 cruiser. And that is huge. Right now the opponent is at 3. We are taking 1 away. Of course, there are ways that they're getting more cruisers, as you have or might have seen during my very first video of the game, but I still take it. Cool stuff. But of course, this wasn't my action. Keep in mind, I can play 1 card per turn. There is another card I would love to play, but even though I'm playing solo, I want to play it right, so I'm not allowed to play another card before I have taken an action. And I think I have to build up my military. So I think we are investing into the plasma weapon. In order to do so, we are either spending, I think, 3 money or 1 discovery. I think this is discovery, right? So we are spending this. And this allows us to place unfortunately, it has to be one of our action cubes here, placing it here. This increases our productivity. This is not an ore, this button, highly confusing. But now we have basically 2 shield symbols here, which means I am allowed to keep up to 2 cruisers after the war phase. I believe next I am going to develop, which is this action here. Therefore, we have to spend 7 money. Is that still okay? Yeah, I can afford that. So we are going down to 3. That is not great, but this allows me to take 1 of my action cubes and place it onto any one of my planets. Basically, again, showing that it is developed. I will simply put it right next to it. It doesn't really matter in this instance, I believe, because usually I get to choose if I lose something, but yeah. Anyway, and yeah, this simply gives me 1 prestige because I developed a planet. I will get this, or that. And I guess in this case, I will go for another influence here, just basically prepping for the next round to come. Again, I still could play a card now, and I think before I forget, I will play this card here. I will play it for the instant effect down here, which simply gives me 1 more prestige point. I mean, not only are those direct victory points at the end of the game, but because of my major ideology, the diplomats, I will get 1 more victory point for every 4 I collected here when the game is over. And yeah, this card is now also out of the game. Originally, I was really thinking on manufacturing, but right now I'm still in the lead in respect to my cruisers. So instead, I will do a trade action here, the political cooperation with my final cube here. We are placing it here. And the reason I'm doing this is I want to prepare for my first golden age, that is getting all these cubes back. But I think I will only be able to do that at the very end of the game, basically for the final round of the game. But this is fine. So now I get to choose if I want to do this or that. And of course, that's the main reason why I wanted the influence here, because this gives me an immediate 1-2 more influence points. Nicely done. I totally take that. Again, this is my third action. I could play another card, but I believe there is no reason right now. So let's call it here. We are going to draw the next card here, of course, and okay, they're going to take over a water planet. Right now there is no water world here. See what I did there? And this is tech symbol or so. Did we have that? The opponent acquires the leftmost barren planet. Didn't we have a barren planet? Yes, there is one. Indeed, there is one down here, but ultimately, this might really come back to bite him, quite honestly, because I might be able to take over one of these planets. But that was the first card done. And acquires one. Okay, I forgot that. And we are acquiring one influence. That could definitely translate into something terrible for him. But we are drawing the next card, and yeah, of course. Of course it had to happen. They're taking over an ice world, which I believe they can't. This is so bad. I hate this. He's winning. But I think I should be fine, actually. But anyway, yeah, we are skipping this. But yeah, if your troop limit, or if your of the amount of my cruisers exceed our military strength, we are losing one. And that's exactly what's happening now. There are 5 symbols, and he had to play one of those. Yeah, that's truly terrible, but yeah, can't really change it. Let's move into the war phase. We are determining the overlord, which is not us. Yeah, we have, it's 2 versus 2. Unfortunately, it was much better. Then we are looking for the tiebreaker, counting the number of shield, because our opponent already has basically all the technologies developed. They have a shield rating of 4. So yeah, we are not winning this, which means, yeah, a second place in a 2-player game, we are gaining anything. Definitely a bummer. And then the overlord may acquire 1 unprotected planet, but here we are doing just fine. We have 2 planets here. We're not counting the cubes, we're only counting the planets here, and we have 2 cruisers. And last thing to do, we have to check if we have more cruisers than we have shields. We don't, which means we can hold on to both of our cruisers, and that's ending the war phase. So let's move into the galactic phase, which means we are moving the galactic fleet. We are revealing the final tile. Oh, we have 2 of those now. Okay. I think we know we are not revealing it, actually. And that's only a planet for 4 players. But we haven't developed warp drives yet, which is, this could be now actually a thing, because for us, these are definitely valuable. We are getting extra discovery tokens for those. Yeah, indeed. But that's basically the end of the round. There is no golden age, unfortunately, but this is really something I have to do this round. So we're getting for the final round these 3 cubes back, and that's kind of a bummer in this solo mode that you're really playing this alone. So normally, even in a 2-player game, someone would go there and we would basically be working together for those. But of course, yeah, I think it has to be this challenge, so I have to deal with it on my own. So yeah, what are we going to do? Yeah, of course, let's move back in the production phase. So we are getting 3 more cubes. We are getting, okay, still 3. We are losing 2. So okay, we can still buy stuff. Not enough to develop another planet. Okay, can't change it. Again, we are not activating any abilities here, so we now get to take our actions. Okay, I think we are going to research, and we want xenology. In order to do that, that's one of these advanced technologies. So you see this little symbol here. Again, you normally have to pay 3 money or one of these discovery tokens. In this case, you also have to do the same, but on top of this, you also have to spend 1 additional one. So in this case, I think I will simply go for 2 of these discovery tokens. That puts it like here. Ultimately, we are now either getting this or that. That's a victory point. That's, I think, more than a victory point. And we are getting 1 prestige point here. So let's do that for sure. So here's the prestige points we are definitely getting. And I think here we will go for 2 more influence. Yes, absolutely. Let's do that. Are we going to play? Here we get 1 more influence. Here we get some money. So we have some more resources left, which is something I do like. So I guess for our second action, we are simply going for more political cooperation here. We are spending the 2 we just received in order to get 2 more prestige points, 1 and 2. And because of our major ideology, this is 2 extra victory points at the end of the game. 8 divided by 4. And I really hope I'm not confusing things here. And no, it seems I'm okay. 1 extra VP for every 4 prestige rounded down at the end of the game. I take it. I believe next I am going to play a card, or basically with my action here, we are getting rid of the scythe here, which basically for the one-time effect, they simply come with a cruiser. So maybe we are going to win a battle this round. But again, 1 more card is down, but there's only 1 more round after this one. So we should be okay. And we are down to 1 action cube. Before we are missing out, I think I'm going to nominate one of my planets in the Galactic Congress. Normally, in order to do that, so first of all, we have this requirement. We need a developed planet. We have that. Not a problem. Then we would have to spend 3 influence in order to do that. But we are doing this with brute force. So our Quowen allows us to do that with money, or we are bribing our way into that. So we are spending 5 money, going down to 1. This allows us to place a seat into the Galactic Congress, and therefore we are immediately scoring 4 more prestige, which again, because of our major ideology, is indeed basically another point out of it all. So it's 5 points that we scored this way. Absolutely cool. We could still play a card together with this action, but I think there is no need to do that. We are out of action cube, so we are moving into the turn of the AI player. So let's draw the first cards. Are taking over an ice world. Yes, they can take over this ice world here, unfortunately, because they have warp drive enabled. And this one here takes the leftmost barren planet. Oh, they have 1 more. Okay, that is intrigue. We have to think about that. So that's that. We are triggering the next card. It's not a military action. That's cool. They're not taking over any more planets because there aren't any water worlds in here. But yeah, they're going for this one. That's, I guess, no, it's not really a problem. I think I did things correctly. So they're going for the diplomat action, which means they're grabbing 2 influence. After that, it has more than 2. It spends 3 to nominate. Yes, there was kind of a mess, but I believe they had 3 in total already. I could have been wrong. So they're getting 2. And then if they have more than 2, they are spending 3 in order to nominate. So they would have taken this slot away from me. So that is completely fine. I think this went extremely well. Now we're getting into the war phase. And once more, we outnumber our opponent here. So we are the overlord because we have 3. They have only 2 ships, which means we are getting 1 money and 1 more prestige points over here. And now I believe I can take over a planet from our opponent, but we are not gaining anything. Normally, if we would have the major ideology here, the military one, we would get 1 extra point for each planet we have taken over. In this case, it doesn't matter. But because we will lose one of our cruisers here anyway, we might as well simply take 1 away. So we are basically returning this. We are placing 1 of our cruisers on top of this. Unfortunately, it's not a normal victory point at the end of the game. Kind of a bummer, but I will still take it because, again, we would have lost this ship anyway. Because, again, our shield value is only 2, and now we have 2 cruisers here. But that's basically the penultimate round. So we are going into the galactic phase. We are moving the galactic fleet, which means we are now able to go after those. And maybe I should consider that because we really have a very cool round. So we would now move all the cubes up here to those trade cards, checking if those trade cards are full. They are. So these cubes are simple neutral cubes. And up to 3 are now returned to their respective players. So we we have 6 actions available next round. So we are flipping this one over. Now an unlimited amount of cubes can go there. And yeah, basically the ratio definitely also went down. So for 2 we are only getting now 1 prestige point here. But getting those 3 extra cubes, of course, is huge for the last round to come. And I think that's basically it. Let's do the final production phase. So we are getting 3 more action cubes here. Hooray! We are getting 2 more income. We are losing 1 productivity, but at least we do have some money. Again, we are not activating any abilities. And this is where I'm already so intrigued playing this again, having other cards in our hand that would give me maybe some of these benefits. So yeah, absolutely. I'm pumped here. And then yeah, let's do the final action phase of the game. So with our first action, we are going for anomalies. So we are exploring this. Okay, this costs us 1 cruiser. Is that a problem? No, I think it's not. So we are discarding one of our precious cruisers here, and we are going for one of those here. And keep in mind, because we have the Celestavis, we get 1. Oh, nominate 1 for every 2. Oh, I didn't check that. Think we hadn't won. Oh, I forgot that, but I think we missed out on that. Anyway, we are flipping over one of those. We are simply going for the top. Oh, that's 4 plus again the 1 extra one, so we are getting 5 of those. Okay, that is rather huge actually, and we only have a 6. So I'm taking the 6. We still had 1, so maybe I get to do some research this round. Okay, that wasn't terrible at all. Before I forget, I think I'm going to play this card here for its effect. So we're getting 3 more dollars, galactic dollars, of course. So we are up to 7. So we can do stuff. We can even develop another planet. I think I have to stall a little bit. First of all, we are playing this card. This gives us 1 influence. I mean, that's fine. And with this influence, we are going to terraform. So we are getting 1 productivity here, and we may now colonize barren planets, but there aren't any left. Okay, it is what it is. For the next action, we are basically doing the same thing here. So yeah, we have to get some change. So we are getting 5 back. Not too terrible. And we're getting 1 more productivity. And develop now costs us actually 2 less. Before we do that, we are going for the Industrial Union, which means we are spending 3 of our productivity, which we just gained 2 of, to place one of our action cubes in here. So again, we have to spend our productivity, and therefore we are getting 1, 2 more of those. Okay, that wasn't terrible at all. We are down to 2 actions. We could still go up here. This would protect our developed planets, and if we would protect our planets, then maybe we are not going to lose one of those. But we can't do both, right? Yeah. I think the best chance is actually to nominate here. At least I think. We have the money for that. We would get 3 victory points, or basically prestige points, out of this. Yeah, let's do that. So we are spending 5 money because again, we are bribing our way into the Galactic Congress here with the help of the Quowen. So we are taking one of our, basically the penultimate action cube in here, and therefore we are getting 1, 2, 3 more prestige points there. Not too shabby. And I think with our last action, we are simply, okay, I think we have to really think this through. We could develop something. We could go for a planet. The thing is, if we might be losing, actually, if we're not, we might lose a planet which is also victory point loss. I don't want to do that. So we are placing our last cube in here. We are spending our last 2 coins to get ourselves 1 cruiser here, and that's basically the end of our game done. Of course, we still have to resolve 2 cards. What are they going? They're taking over a water world, which they can't. That's a science action. Yeah, they're acquiring 1 more of those cruisers. I knew that this would happen, but okay, maybe we are okay. Let's see. Let's play another card. They're taking over an ice world, which again doesn't really do anything to us. And here they acquire this, and they would acquire 1 more influence, but I think, yeah, they're not cashing it in. They would only do that with this one here, but as there aren't any seats in the Galactic Congress to take from, this also really doesn't matter at all. So we are moving into the final war phase of the game. The AI outnumbers us here, so we are not gaining anything there, but that is quite all right. They can't take anything away from us because we're only controlling 2 planets. We have 2 cruisers, so yes, dodged that bullet here, but I'm really happy that we use all of our resources so well. The only thing we have now still 5 of these, and I believe they're not worth anything. I have to check that quite honestly. So yeah, we're not losing any planets. We are even not losing our cruisers here, which means we are at the end of the journey, at the end of the universe. There might be a restaurant. So we are basically ending the game here and tallying up our score. Okay, so we're getting 1 VP for every prestige point. Hooray. So we have 18 of those. Again, that's, I think, not too shabby. I was not even thinking about that. Then we are getting basically 1 VP for each cube. We have 3 cubes out. So in total, that's not too great actually, but yeah, nothing I can do about that. We don't have any relics whatsoever, though that's a little bit disappointing. I think we can even cash those into another 10, so we're at 21 points here already. And then we are gaining 1 victory point for every 4 prestige points rounded down. So that should be 16 divided by 4. That's 4 more victory points. So here's a 5. We are getting 1 back, which means I have ended the game with 25 victory points. I have no clue if that's miserable, if that's mediocre. It's definitely not great. I'm relatively certain about that. But to be fair and to be frank, I didn't really think about that. I really thought before I started recording, I will be ending up with, I don't know, 8 points at the end of the game. So ultimately, I am quite content with the result. But yeah, that's basically how you play the solo mode of Age of Galaxies. And before you ask, no, these coins do not come with the game, obviously. I was just using them to track the progress here. I really hope I haven't messed things up too badly. If I did, you will most certainly let me know, and then I will leave a comment or so. If I find something during editing, I will do the same. I really like this game. Thematically, I tend to enjoy Age of Civilization a tad more, but then again, it's really a different game on its own, because the one piece where what you have to get a head around in Age of Civilization is this changing the actions that you have available at your disposal. This is a little bit different here. Here you can really focus on what's there, so this doesn't really change. Yes, it may change from game to game, especially because of these trade cards here, and of course, again, depending on what civilizations or factions you're ending up with, but ultimately it's something where you can plan ahead way more. Of course, yeah, you can plan ahead in this Age of Civilization, but it's really, it's so nerve-wracking actually when you find out, oh gosh, I should have played this action at that point in time. Now I can't use it anymore. So really a ton of stuff that's going on. But again, ultimately, I really enjoy this one too. As for the solo mode, I think it works. It is okay. I'm, as you know, not a big fan of games where you have to beat your own score, which I'm doing, but this is then where I do appreciate that the designers have added basically these scenarios here. Again, these are 5 if my memory serves me well. Quite honestly, I haven't tried those yet, and I don't even know if you're just using this card. Again, this, I printed it way too big by it. I think this should really go onto a standard card actually, but yeah, my eyes are getting old. So or if you're also mixing them with this solo variant card here. I think not actually, because everything that you need to do is basically printed on those. These scenarios are, let's say, a little bit more, at least that's how I felt when I read some of those, a little bit more staged. So for example, in this case, you don't have any hand. So this is what you have. You have these 2 main factions here. These are the, I think we even had those in our hand, right? Yeah, the Jamera or Jamera. and one other civilization over here, which you would have to beat. The systems are all revealed, even though they are random. You know what is coming. I think there is even an official variant in the rules. If you prefer to play with Open Galaxy, you can do that as well. There's also drafting, which of course only kicks in with a multiplayer game. But ultimately, these scenarios all seem to come with their own little rules and twists and ways how you can score some points. But here you always have a goal. For example, here it says after 5 rounds you have 35 victory points or more, which now kind of tells me I didn't do particularly well. As you know, I only scored 25 points, but then again, I don't know how the scenario would have influenced that. So for example, here is an ongoing ability, and depending on my current galaxy VPs, basically number of cubes on planet, I would have been able to gain more resources here. So maybe this scenario is easier than the standard variant, because there's also not really a war phase in this one here. We have an outlaw phase, so we are losing some cruisers here as well. You lose an unprotected planet of your choice, replace it with other cubes. So very similar actually to the normal, let's say, war phase when you play the solo variant. But then again, it's the first of 5 scenarios here. Others will definitely introduce other things. So here you can get the help of other factions if you have, I think, cube on those, or if you have 2 cubes on those, if I call that correctly or so. Anyway, let me know if you are really desperate to see another video of Age of Galaxy. I will definitely try to get in some more multiplayer games in the meantime, maybe really prepping me for these solo scenarios here. Let's see. But yeah, do let me know. And before I forget, huge shout out to all of my patrons and channel members. You guys are truly amazing. Can't tell you how much I appreciate all your support. So if you want to check out my little Patreon page, let's do so. You will certainly find a link. Either it's popping up here or in the description of this video. You can join me here directly on YouTube by clicking that little join button. There's also a thanks button for a small, or maybe not so small donation. Like and subscribe, leave a comment. This also helps and is greatly appreciated. And yeah, with that being said, hope to see you soon in one of my other videos. And yeah, until then, bye bye.